The real estate sector contributes 7 to 10% of the GDP in East Africa. That is Kenya, Uganda, to mention but a few. So there is opportunity. There is opportunity. And you are the man with the data.
Everyone wants to enjoy life. You want to go and live in a nice environment where you can walk, where your kids can enjoy, where there is bits and pieces of greenery. And now here in Marina, there is a rake to make it even more attractive. So we are meeting a market need that for many years has not been served. We are creating mixed-use developments. So we do a master plan, we provide water, we provide power, we provide the amenities, and then we do a lot of greenery, and then the homes come in rust. We have the residential area, we have the commercial area, we have the institutional area where there are schools, hospitals, and eventually you create a 15-minute city where you can live, work, you entertain yourself in that neighborhood, and you thrive.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night wherever you are. Of course, that is meant for my diaspora family. Welcome to Kalikumutima Talks. Kalikumutima Deo, your host, the humble servant from Kalikumutima and Company Advocates. Today, I'm humbled to host Mr. Ken Mbae. Mr. Ken Mbae is the Managing Director of Centum Real Estates, a subsidiary of Centum Investments, listed company. Emphasis on that, listed in Kenya and in Uganda. When we talk about listed, we talk about credibility. I'm sure Ken will touch that. This topic is timely. Real estate, property. Every day people are talking about property. Just last week, a friend from the UK was telling me, we are getting challenges in Uganda. We are getting challenges. Property there is very expensive. There are issues of fraud. We want to hear from you, Ken. We have so many questions for you, but because of time, they are limited. But before we go to the questions, I'll give you a few statistics of Uganda. In 1900, when Uganda was colonized, we were only 2 million, not that I was there. In 1962, when we got our independence, 8 million. Today, we are over 50 million Ugandans. We actually have a housing deficit. To be precise, 2.4 million. And this is stretched out urban and rural. Of course, at a certain stage, I'll want to know where your focus is. Is it just urban? You will tell us. Now, there is indeed a gap. We see big players like yourselves coming in, of course, concentrated in the urban, and it creates certain perceptions which we hope to clear tonight. Like I said, it is humbling to have you, sir, the managing director himself, here with us. Of course, I'll also quickly talk about Marina. Marina, I love this place. The air, so pure. I love nature so much. The lake, just 100 meters away. Marina is a subsidiary of Centum Investments too. So when I talk about credibility, it is deeply rooted. Good to have you, Ken. Say hello to our viewers and listeners.
Thank you. And I want to replicate the same amount of energy you have. It's quite encouraging. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hear this show is watched globally from many continents. I'm really humbled to be here, and thank you for finding time this morning to have us and to visit our project in Marina.
Thank you so much, Ken. So we're going to be talking about real estate. You are a man who has been tried and tested. You have the experience, you have the exposure. Why real estate? How is the landscape looking like in the region, in East Africa? But please bring it home, because this is the Pearl, and we are at Marina. Over to you.
Thank you. You just highlighted the opportunity from 1900 to 2026, from 2 million people to over 50 million people. Uganda has 10.9 million households. And as this population keeps growing, people are creating families. They are leaving the rural areas to come to Kampala to look for economic opportunity. Everyone needs a home. So real estate is one of the many ways you can create wealth. As you've highlighted, the demand is high. The supply is actually low. It means there is a gap. And the gap that is there is for high quality lifestyle. Everyone wants to enjoy life. You want to go and live in a nice environment where you can walk, where your kids can enjoy, where there is bits and pieces of greenery. And now here in Marina, there is a lake to make it even more attractive. So we are meeting a market need that for many years has not been served. We are creating mixed-use developments. So we do a master plan. We provide water, we provide power, we provide the amenities, and then we do a lot of greenery, and then the homes come in last. Then in that master plan, we have the residential area, we have the commercial area, we have the institutional area where there are schools, hospitals, and eventually you create a 15-minute city where you can live, work, you entertain yourself in that neighborhood, and you thrive, and you become successful. You bring up families, you create passive income, and you create generational wealth. We've done a proof of concept in Marina. This morning you've walked around the entire estate. It's there, it's been done. We can scale it up and take it to other parts of Uganda, and everyone enjoys high quality of life. Thank you.
I hope the viewers are as wowed as I am. I love statistics, and I'm sure our viewers are keen on knowing the investments that you have within Centum, but also within Marina. Please give us some statistics. I'm sure there's data to back it up. But before you do, for those who have tuned in, who are listening in, the real estate sector contributes 7 to 10% of the GDP in East Africa. That is Kenya, Uganda, to mention but a few. So there is opportunity. There is opportunity. And you are the man with the data. Give us some statistics to work with. What investments do you have? Is it a fallacy or is it realistic? Is it achievable? Talk to us.
Thank you. It's achievable to own a home. I think everyone's desire is to own a home one day. You want to have your own home. The question is, can I afford it? And how do I fund the dream? The second thing that everyone wishes to is I want to live in a good neighborhood. I want to bring up my family in a nice neighborhood. 3, I want to stay in close proximity to where I either go to work or where my kids go to school. Now, the government has put in the bypasses around Kampala. We've done the expressway. So that has shortened the distance from the airport, from Marina to places of work. The question then Marina has been working on is how much would the ordinary person, Ugandan, be prepared to pay as rent for 1-bedroom unit, 2-bedroom unit, and 3-bedroom unit. Let's do an example. If you're prepared to pay rent of $200 per month for a 1-bedroom unit, then we work backwards and say the total rent that would come from that unit in a year is $2,400, which is 200 times 12 months. Then we ask for investors who are looking to get a return, what return are they looking at? Maybe they want to get a 10% rental yield, which means the $2,400 divide by 10, you get $24,000. So we work with that price point as our selling point. We work on a construction cost that someone can afford to invest in this unit and earn a 10% rental yield, and a tenant would be comfortable to pay that amount. So that's how we work a simple back of envelope business case. Now, I was looking at numbers. Uganda receives $1.4 to $1.5 billion every year from diaspora. This money is sent here to pay for food, to sustain people back home, some sent to do housing, some sent to do school fees. So there is enough of inflows coming in that can be channeled to real estate. The annual demand for housing, people who are starting families and they're moving to the next level of life, people who have graduated from universities across and they have come to Kampala to work and other cities, is 200 to 300,000 homes. The supply, the statistic is not accurate. The supply is less than that. What this means is I can build anything, anywhere, and I can charge as I like, and people will pay because there isn't an alternative. So what we are providing is a solution, a high quality environment. There is cabro, there is walkways, there is water to your house, all those basic amenities that make life enjoyable. And for this generation, soft and Instagrammable is what we focus on providing. And then we ask, how will you finance homes? Typically, you should take mortgages, but Africans, we don't like mortgage. You don't want to have a loan for 25 years. The 10.9 million homes in Uganda that have been built, your mortgage is less than 5,000 mortgages. People fund, they either borrow, they build partially, they build to completion. So we provide a payment plan to our purchasers, 24 months, 18 months, so you pay in milestones. We also we've partnered with all the banks to give you the option to take up funding, and then you can own the home and you pay down quicker. In our own projects, we've seen most of the investors are buying for investment. So like 80% are expecting to get rent from those units. The people staying here work in Kampala, they work in Entebbe, they work with the airlines. It's a popular destination for many. And secondly, the properties double in value. So when we started, a one-bedroom unit was actually $34,000. The same unit today, 4 or 5 years down the line, is $68,000. So we've also built generational wealth. So if you are at the onset, if you are to do your wealth declaration before they bought the house, the net worth would have been $34,000. Today, their net worth is $68,000. Now, if you imagine the same in 2040, which is precisely 14 years from today, it may be $150,000. So we are contributing to wealth build-up for the current generation, for the future generation. Thank you.
Wow. Let's just say you covered about 50 questions that were coming your way. My take home: financial planning, cost-benefit analysis. You must plan, don't just jump in there. You have talked about something that is so dear to my heart, something that I was talking about just yesterday: sustainable wealth creation. When we build, you have very beautiful land here. We are not just building houses, we are building legacies. And next we'll talk about sustainability, environment. But before we get there, you have helped address a concern that many of us have, even I, that Pearl Marina was made for the wealthy. That Pearl Marina is for the A class. And I think now I can say, maybe it is a fallacy. You did address the issue of affordability. You talked about partnerships with the banks. In the global age, partnerships are very key, especially strategic partnerships and collaborations. I do not know whether you stretch and are involved in the negotiations on behalf of your clients, or you leave it to them, but at least you have created a window, which is unique. You don't find that every day with people in your sector. But though you have touched it just briefly, I'll lay the fears out there of the middle income earners who feel, no, Pearl Marina is not for me. And also, a friend just asked me 5 minutes ago, is Pearl Marina purposed for the urban only? What is their plan? Do they intend to reach out to expand to the other parts of the Pearl? Uganda, respectfully, is the most beautiful part of the world. And Kenya follows close by. We'll have that debate in the next session. So please, briefly, allay those concerns. Because from what you have stated, it is clear that it is not true. But just hammer it home for the benefit of our viewers, not just in Uganda, but even in the diaspora.
Thank you. I start with Uganda is beautiful. That's why we are here, chasing the beauty and the opportunity. Secondly, Pearl Marina, you know, wealth is in your mind. Pearl Marina is for those who are wealthy and those who want to dream big and live nice and comfortably. It's for everyone. And that's I think is everyone's ambition. We believe that belief comes before ability. So you first believe that I can be in Pearl Marina or I can be wealthy, and then you create the ability to achieve that. So it's for everyone. We are not discriminating. What we've done is just a model city. What is possible? People can live well. People can live in nice environments. It costs the same to build what we've built and what is there in the market. It just costs the same. The cost of steel, the cost of cement is the same. But the cost of planning, providing greenery, spending a bit more time to do nice infrastructure is what makes the difference. There is the question of preparation. Ourselves, we draw a lesson from the airline industry. When you get to an aircraft, before it takes off, you're told in the highly unlikely event of anything happening, this is what you should do. When you hit turbulence, you know what you should do. In life, the highly likely event is life will ask you for money continuously. From the day you arrived here to the day you finish your mission, there is need for money. So you have to prepare, and we are not told how to prepare to have money today and to have money 60, 70 years from today, depending on how your life revolves. And that starts with maybe saving and then investing a portion of your saving to take care of you in future. You can invest in shares, you can invest in money market, you can invest in government bonds, you can invest in many things, including real estate, even gold and the rest. So what we look at, because real estate is tangible, is how can we help our investors generate passive income today, take care of those assets, because real estate can be there for 60, 70 years, even in some places 100 years, such that you generate that wealth continuously, you pass it over to the next generation. We manage it on your behalf. We set aside some money, which is service charge and sinking fund. The estates are maintained today with a view of this estate being there 60, we may not be there, or maybe 70 years from today, but there is a generation that will draw income from that. So that creates a pool of sustainability and a long-term outlook in it. Now, across Uganda, land is there. Across Uganda, there are people in need of housing. We could take what we've done here, partner with a large landowner in another part of the country, and we build a similar city. The ingredients are there, the market is there. Capital chases attractive opportunities. We have an attractive opportunity. Funding will come to us and it will come to our customers. Thank you.
Wow. Good. You have touched a topic that I love so much. That is wealth. Very dear to my heart. And I'm sure there's a friend of mine smiling out there who also loves money. So I'll touch money too. Wealth is created, but it must be protected. And once you protect it, then you accumulate. And you must ensure that you transition. I'm just summarizing what you said. And you put it in a very simple manner. My viewers out there, our viewers, if you want sustainability, look for Centum Real Estates. Look for Pearl Marina. The Chinese do not have the word luck in their diction. They replaced it with two words: opportunity and preparation. Ken put it so clear that you must prepare. Do not just jump. Before you cross the road, growing up, the simple basics: turn left, turn right. Interestingly, in certain parts, even where it is a one-way street, people are still turning left and what? And right. Preparation is very key. Thank you for that. Now, for my friend out there who's smiling and loves money so much, Centum is a listed company, Centum Investments. Centum Real Estates and Pearl Marina are subsidiaries. So we are talking credibility. They are very key components of money. Credibility, imperative, box ticked. I will not clap for you, there are people watching. Credible relationships. He did touch the partnerships that Pearl Marina has. The banks, for example, Stanbic Bank, and we are humbled as Kalikumutima and company advocates to represent most of the entities that you mentioned. Stanbic Bank, DFCU, Housing Finance Bank. Those are credible relationships. By virtue of the fact that you are listed, that means you have integrity. And this is for our viewers. Omuganda agamba, take a sente wolaba. You must look out for value as you watch your risk. Integrity is key. I'll continue emphasizing the listing bit. To be listed, you must be credible. You must have the necessary what? Integrity. I will not go to the question of sustainability. You have answered it. And in the interest of time, now we're going to move a bit fast. Let us touch security of tenure. Real estate for the longest time possible was looked at as a safe investment opportunity. Like I said, we are living in the global age. The world is ever evolving with all its challenges, and fraud is one of them. On my part, as an attorney, I have a checklist. I'll tell you: 1, come to me, you need a good lawyer. 2, you must do a detailed or elaborate due diligence that goes beyond just carrying out an ordinary land search. That is part of the process. But you must go to the property armed with a team of professionals, including but not limited to the lawyer. You need a land surveyor to confirm the boundaries, confirm the acreage, because what is on the ground may not be in sync with what is on the title deed. The land surveyor will help you with that. Then you need a land valuer. Most purchases are determined by emotion. No offense to the married folks there. I'm seeing a beautiful couple here. Emotions are okay, but do not mix business with what? I'm not saying that lovers should not buy property, but there must be a line. We have many scenarios where values are determined by emotions. Do not leave business to chance. Engage a land valuer. That friend I talked to was saying, we cannot buy properties in Kololo. They are very high. They told me $1 million, and I asked him based on what? They told me. That was the basis. The land valuer, and registered, I must emphasize, will help you with that. And if you're buying an already built property, the team grows bigger. You'll need your architect to confirm whether the design's in order. You'll need the structural engineer to confirm issues of structural integrity. You need a quantity surveyor. Many times we run away from the cost, but we forget that there's a benefit. And Ken did talk about preparation. This is part of preparation. Because what are you buying? When you buy a property like this, do not kid yourself. You're not buying the building. No, you're buying the value in the building. When you buy land, you're not buying the soil. And allow me to emphasize that land is the only asset that I know that does not depreciate in value. Ken will help me, correct me if I'm wrong. Land is the only asset that I know that does not what? So, because you are buying value, you have to prepare accordingly. The due diligence must be watertight, because if it is, one, you get the right value, and he did emphasize that. Two, you manage the risk. Every business around the world has risk. The perception today is that the risk has grown higher with real estate. And surely we'll want to hear from you. I have touched the legal perspective and I'll conclude shortly. We'll want to hear from Centum and marina. Security of tenure. How do you guarantee it? You have these beautiful properties. My family in the diaspora, so many complaints. We are cheated. I always tell them they are cheated because they deal with the wrong people. We have seen a credible entity here, but you will help us just summarize how you address that issue. Now, once the due diligence process is done, it in turn informs your negotiation. Because if Deo is asking you for $1 million, now you will know that the property is actually worth $1 million. And from that, you will have the terms of your contract. You have your good attorney with you. They'll draft the document. The document must be realistic. The terms must be clear, no ambiguity at all. Law properly described. The parties entering the contract must be properly described. If it is Ken, it is Ken. If you add two T's, that is not Ken. That is misdescription and you'll be taken advantage of. The property details must be properly described. If it's a lease, and I will also request you to touch that, because the people in the diaspora feel they cannot own property in Uganda because the citizenship changed. If I'm a Ugandan but now based in the UK, can I buy a property from you? Can I take out a lease? You will address that. So that clarity is needed. And once you're done with your paperwork, then you can go to paying. You did share, and that was exciting, that you allow installments. Maybe you'll shed a little more light. Can I pay for over a 10-year period as if it were a loan? Then we have transfer. You say you allow your buyers to pay over a certain period. Do you hand over the title and transfer forms? Because as an attorney, I emphasize every day that when you buy a property, you must immediately transfer it into your name. And that is legal possession. And take over actual possession. Again, we meet our friends out there, they'll tell you, I bought a property in Garuga. You know, the accents change after some time. And have you been to the property? No. So what are we talking about? I have a property. Where in Garuga? I don't know. That is what they say. So I have summarized my part because of time. Over to you. Touch security of tenure. Then after that, we'll have a few parting shots. Thank you.
Thank you. You've comprehensively, extensively covered that topic. So on the legal front, there is minor form of ownership, which an attorney around you know very well. There is the leasehold, and there is the condominium title for these mixed-use developments and apartments. So I would use the analogy, you just work with experts. If you have a medical issue, you normally go to the best doctor, they check you, you go to another doctor to do a secondary opinion, then you go to the best laboratory to check your results. The same is where you're putting your money. You get as the developer, we have the title, we have the documents. Please go work with another law firm. Let them do a search for you at Wakiso. They establish that we own the land. They establish that the building plans have been approved by them. They check for you the history of that land ownership, the land rates and other payments done. And then you can satisfy yourself that on the risk of legal ownership, I correctly own the title and I did my best. Should fraud ever happen, because fraud is happening because there is huge opportunity in real estate. And people are also looking for opportunities to buy. That's why people set up those schemes. It's good to work with a developer that is credible, people that you can trust, but also work with a team that can verify for you, so that should anything happen, you can go to the legal process. Under the legal process, you can provide the documentation that you did searches and the searches were correct, because problems could arise along the way. The other risk in real estate is liquidity. If you're buying houses to sell tomorrow, it may take you a month, it may take you a year to sell it. So you have to take a very long-term view as you buy. The other risk is demand. If I'm buying to rent, there's a risk that the house may remain empty for a period of time. It may take time to get a tenant. And if I get a tenant, are they able to pay the rent that gives me the best rental yield? So that's a consideration to take. And to mitigate on that risk, you have to be in a prime neighborhood with amenities such that your tenants will never move out. It's a place where everyone wants to be. The other risk that is there is currency risk. We have people in the US, in the diaspora, who are buying for investment. So you spend your money in dollars to buy, you earn your rent in Uganda shillings, and there is a variance in the currency. So you have to maybe check in developments where I can earn my rent in US dollars, I invest in US dollars, or even much better, I make my money in Uganda shilling, I invest in marina properties, and I get my rent in US dollars. So that your exposure is quite reduced. The other risk is a financing risk. How do I finance? Because opportunities will not wait for you, and you'll not wait to have all the money to invest. You can go to a bank. The best thing about a bank, it will also verify the documentation, even as they perfect the security. So they help you own the property before you fully get your money, so long as you can meet the monthly milestones. They also mitigate the risk of you having issues with the title. So because there are two owners there, that is another way that you can mitigate the risk. The last one is change in regulation. Government regulations could change over time. You need to work with firms that then could advise you. If new taxes are introduced around real estate, if new regulation is introduced around real estate, you're taken care of. So we cannot eliminate risk. Any investment you're taking risk, you only classify the risk that are there. You try and mitigate those risks, and then you say, I'm comfortable working with this set of risk, and I've hedged all my risk. I will get a return and I'll sleep at night. What I would advise is investing and then you don't sleep. You want to invest, sleep comfortably, and you know you'll get your return and your asset is secure. While you're investing and you can't sleep, we would highly discourage that. It's not good for your wealth. It's not good for your health. Your health is your greatest wealth. Thank you.
Wow, well put. I'll summarize it in one word: preparation. The only way you're going to manage that risk, prepare. If it is currency, hedge, lock in during your negotiations. And of course, engage the right professionals. Engage the right professionals. So in the interest of time, I'm going to request you, Ken, give us a few parting shots. And I hope that we'll have another discussion, because people need this information. There is a perception, like I said, that you have done so well to correct, but we need more discussions like this, not just in Uganda, but in the region, for your clientele, for our diaspora viewers, to understand who you are, the products that you have for them. So, a few parting shots from you, sir.
Thank you for the opportunity. First, today, anyone, if you are asked to declare your wealth, you would list the money you have in the account, the shares you have, and I'm sure 90% of your wealth would be the real estate asset you own, either land or the building will account for that portion. So it's good to diversify your pool of investment, I would encourage you to invest in real estate, but invest in master plan developments that you know are controlled, that no one will build a funny structure next to you and erode the value. Where it's in prime neighborhoods, where the value will grow over time. And finally, where it's in a neighborhood where lifestyle is a key component. If lifestyle is taken care of, people now are obsessed with running, being fit, walking, and it's a key thing that would keep people in your development. Consider those environments that provide this combined with security. As I finish, Centum, we focus on the lifestyle. We are cognizant that you spend up to 90% of your time in a real estate setup. You're in the office, which is real estate. You're in courtroom, which is real estate. You're in a gym, that's real estate. You're shopping, that's real estate. You're in a saloon, that's real estate. In the office, that's real estate. On an ordinary day, you spend up to 8 hours, which is 40% of your time, 30 to 40% of your time at home. In that home, that is where you go and relax, you sleep, you wake up when you're in your best form, and you become productive. Your kids come home, they play around, they do their homework, they relax and go to school. We focus on the element of productivity. We want, when you come to your neighborhood, to become, to be the most relaxed form and version of yourself, to wake up the following day with the highest possible productivity. So we are doubling the productivity of our nation, and we want your kids to perform very well in school, because in the neighborhoods they are in the evening when they play with their friends, they do their homework, they are relaxed, and they perform at the best point. The only way we can do that is through real estate, and we focus on that element. If it could be done in any other way, we could also increase that segment. Finally, I encourage you to take a risk, invest, and create your future wealth, and change the future generations.
Thank you so much, Ken. As I wrap up, I have just one last question that had skipped my mind. Is Marina a Ugandan company? Is your controlling stake or interest Ugandan?
Yes, Marina is a Ugandan company incorporated in Uganda. The parent company is listed on Uganda Securities Exchange. It's as Ugandan as it can get. And to summarize, it's very beautiful.
Thank you. Very important question. Why? Again, perceptions. You are not dealing with a foreign entity. And for the record, it is actually okay to deal with what? Foreign entities. Ken did briefly touch the forms of tenure in Uganda. We have Milo. Milo is a permanent interest in land, akin to the central region Buganda, and it is coined from the word mile. I will not go so much into history. Then we have freehold. Freehold, and I believe this property is on a freehold interest. It is also permanent. Then we have leases. For the non-Ugandans, you can actually own property in the Republic of Uganda by way of a lease for a fixed period of time. So if you're in the diaspora, you can get a lease from Marina. And of course, we have customary. I will not go into that for now. Opportunity, preparation. Look out for value and manage your risk. You get the best value by doing an elaborate due diligence, by engaging the right professionals. You mitigate or manage your risk by engaging the right professionals and those who pay attention to detail. Ensure the professionals are registered or duly licensed, because they are also a risk. People risk. You talked about liquidity. We also have what? People, risk. I want to thank you so much, Ken, for your time. I want to thank Centum Investments, Centum Real Estates, and Pearl Marina for this opportunity. This is you giving back. Am I paying you for this? No, you're giving back. You're giving back not just to your clients, but also to your prospective clients. Thank you so much for your time. And to the crew, my brother Gilbert and the crew from Twin Shots, our partners, thank you so much for making this possible. Our host, who I'll not disclose, has been very kind to us. The best coffee, the best water, and the best view at Pearl Marina in the Pearl, the best part in the world. Thank you so much for your time, our viewers and listeners. We continue our series tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have the land series where we're going to be interviewing the Commissioner, Land Registration, Ministry of Lands. We are going to be touching the topic of letters of administration. Yesterday we were talking about estate planning and succession planning. Tomorrow we continue with the land series. I thank you so much. Looking forward to engaging you more.